I've always loved collecting ornaments, whether they're old or new. It's great to find ones that are perfect to add to my collection. And these unique ornaments, this beautiful cone, and the tree topper are handmade by husband and wife team Gail and Glenn Giaimo. They're reproductions of Victorian ornaments, but they're made with vintage Victorian papers, old glass ornaments, and vintage beads. We visited Gail and Glenn in their studio to see how they make these wonderful old world ornaments that look antique but are made today. Nestled between California's redwoods and the Pacific Ocean, the quaint little village of Ferndale, California, seems almost untouched by the modern world. This beautiful Victorian town, where Main Street is on the National Register of Historic Places, has a population of just over 1,000 people. It's a close-knit farming community that feels like a family. It's here in this tiny Victorian town, in a Victorian house, that Gail and Glenn Giaimo make their Victorian ornaments.
My interest in antique Christmas ornaments started a few years ago when we moved into our home and we wanted to have beautiful old ornaments for our trees.
When they couldn't find any, they decided to make their own. And their hobby has turned into a small business called Dresden Star Ornaments. Each one is handmade with vintage materials from their own collection, including gold embossed papers called Dresdens.
The Dresdens are what we based the name of our company on because they were very, very popular in Dresden, Germany. And that name, Dresden, became associated with these beautiful, intricately detailed ornaments that were made before the turn of the century.
Gail and Glenn also have a wonderful collection of Victorian scrap.
Scrap is a term that was actually coined by the Victorian people for scrapbooking. They were very into it. They had these big collections of postcards, die-cut papers, and they would put these things together in scrapbooks.
The Giaimos also have a collection of old beads and glass ornaments. All these beautiful materials come together in the making of these unique ornaments.
The first thing that I do is I select the scrap that is just perfect for the glass that goes with it. In this case, I found this beautiful glass ornament. The starburst happens to go really well with a piece of scrap that I have, and that's in here. These are character animals, and I've selected this little guy, and he's going to get incorporated with the ornament. So this is going to be a hot air balloon. We've taken the top off this ornament, and we're going to flip it upside down so that we're creating a hot air balloon for the rabbit. I have selected this bell, which goes very beautifully with the colors in the ornament. And I'm turning the bell upside down to create a basket.
Gail trims the rabbit so that it will fit inside the bell and adds a gold Dresden trim to the top of the ornament.
This little scrap guy is going to need a stick for support or he's going to bend, so I've got a stick that I'm going to use to give him some extra support. My technique is a combination of white glue and glue gun glue. The next step is to glue this into place inside the bell. And I'm going to use a little bit of cotton. I use the cotton because it's soft and it will cushion this piece into the bell so that it won't cause any harm to the glass. Anytime we have glass, we want to have some sort of a buffer there, and it also gives a place for it to bond.
Next, Gail wraps a little vintage tinsel around the bottom of the rabbit and creates a tinsel tail for the bell.
I'm going to be adding this very old wire tinsel trim, and I'm going to be putting it around the balloon and gluing it around the edges so that it will look like he is hanging from a hot air balloon.
When this is done, Gail wraps the ornament with old-fashioned crinkle wire.
It comes all compact like this, but it actually stretches out, and then you stretch it as you wrap it.
Gail then attaches the basket to the balloon and adds her signature.
And there you go. You're done. What we love the most about making these ornaments is knowing that it's bringing a piece of history alive for people today, that they can hang them on their tree knowing that they were made with the spirit of Victorian times in mind.